just another stitch. For those that don't know me, my name is Connie, and today we're going to make an ear warmer using the store Stitch. So the supplies you will need for this ear warmer tutorial is some number 4 weighted yarn. The yarn here is Ice Yarns Picasso. I think this would look beautiful in the store Stitch, but any 4 weighted yarn will do. But I do recommend using a very pretty yarn for this stitch. You will also need a darning needle to weave in your ends, a pair of scissors, 2 stitch markers, and this is to mark the beginning and end of your rows, and a 5mm crochet hook. All right, let's get started on the ear warmer. Okay, you want to take your yarn and make a slip knot. All right, and take your 5mm crochet hook, slip it through the loop and tighten. And we are going to chain 72. Now, some of y'all may need to make adjustments on the chain because you want your chain to fit around your head. If you do need to make adjustments, your chain needs to be done with an even amount of chains. So as long as you have an even amount of chains, you are fine. All right, so I'm doing 72. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we're just going to keep chaining until we get 72 chains, and we'll meet back up there. Okay, you now have 72 chains. So I'm going to put a stitch marker. That way it marks the beginning of the round. And what you want to do is single crochet in the second stitch from the hook. The second chain, sorry. And then you single crochet in every chain until you get the end to the end of the row. So just keep single crocheting. And you're going to have a total of 71 chains at the end of this row. And for those that never did a single crochet stitch before, you just enter into the top part of the chain, yarn over, go through that base, yarn over, go through those 2 loops. And that's all there is to it. So we'll meet back up once you have your 71 single crochet stitches. Okay, you should now have 71 single crochet stitches. So now we're going to move on to row 2. So you want to do a chain 3 and you want to chain loosely. So 1, 2, and 3. Let's turn our work. And let's grab our stitch marker and put it on top of the chain. Okay, so we are going to work into the second chain from the hook. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through the chain and pull up a loop. So that's 2 loops. Then you go into the next chain and pull up a loop. So you now have 3 loops on your hook. Next, we're going to go into that very first single crochet stitch and pull up a loop. So that's 4. Go into the second single crochet stitch and pull up a loop. That's 5. Now we're going to go into that third single crochet stitch and pull up a loop. So that's 6. Now we're going to yarn over and go through all 6 loops and chain 1. So that makes our first store stitch. Now what we're going to do from this point on, it's going to be the repeat of row 2. Okay, the first place we're going to be sticking our hook is the eye of the store, which is right here. You see where I have my needle? That is the eye. So that's the first place we're going to be working into. So we're going to go through that eye of the stitch, pull up a loop. All right, the next place we're going to be working is in between, right? You see the last leg of your store stitch? You're going to be going in between, like right before. See how the other leg here and that last leg, you're going to go in between those legs. And basically, you're going to go through like this. The front part of that leg. See? That's how you're going to do your crochet hook. All right, so go in and pull up a loop. That's 3. Next, we're going to work into this spot right here. And pull up a loop. So that gives you 4 loops. Now we're going to go into the next single crochet stitch right here and pull up a loop. That's 5. And now we go into the next single crochet stitch and pull up a loop again. Now you're at 6 stitches. So you yarn over, pull through all 6 loops and chain 1. So you just did another store stitch. And that's what we're going to keep repeating. All right. So again, we go through the eye of the stitch, which is right here. That's the eye. Right there. That's where we're going through. And you're going to pull up a loop. Okay. Then you're going to go in between these legs here of that store stitch. And you're going to just work through that front. That's how your needle's going to go, like this. Okay. I know it's kind of confusing, but it really isn't hard once you know where to place your hook. All right, and you pull up a loop. That's 3. Now you go through the same stitch of that last leg, which is right here. You see how that leg connects to this stitch? This is where we're entering our hook. Don't worry, we're going to get more practice. And we're going to pull up a loop. That's 4. Then we're going to pull up a loop in the next stitch. That's 5. And then the following stitch. That's 6. Then you yarn over, pull through all 6 loops, and chain 1. So we just completed another store stitch. All right. So again, the eye of the stitch is right here. You see? Let me kind of make that big for you. Where my darning needle is, that is the eye. Okay, go through there, pull up a loop. All right, next. All right, you see how you have your legs? You go right here, right before that last leg of the store. And you're just gonna go take your hook through that. But if you notice, watch. Let me try to pull this out for y'all. You see, you're not all the way. You're just through the front leg. You see? All right. You pull up a loop. So that's 3. Now you go in to that stitch of the last leg. You see how it connects into that stitch here? That's where you want to go. And you pull up a loop. That's 4. Now you work into the next single crochet stitch. And that's 5. Then the following single crochet. That's 6. Yarn over, pull through all 6, and chain 1. All right. So by now you should have a feel for it, but we're going to do a few more of these before I send you on your way. All right, go through that eye of the stitch. Pull up a loop. Go through that last leg. Pull up a loop. Go through that stitch that connects to that last leg. Pull up a loop. Then go into the next single crochet stitch. Pull up a loop. Go through the next single crochet stitch and pull up a loop. You got 6 loops, yarn over, pull through all 6 loops and chain 1. All right, let's do this again. Go through the eye of the stitch, pull up a loop, go through that last leg of your previous store stitch. It's being ornery. Pull up a loop. Now where that last leg, that stitch it connects to, go through that stitch. Oops. And pull up a loop. Then go into the next single crochet stitch and pull up a loop. And go through the next single crochet stitch and pull up a loop. Now you have 6 loops, yarn over, go through all 6 and chain 1. Okay, we're approaching the end of row 2 and we have 2 stitches left. So we're going to do our last store stitch. So we go into the eye of the store, pull up a loop, go into that last leg, pull up a loop, go into that stitch that's connected to that last leg and pull up a loop. Go into the next single crochet stitch and pull up a loop, and go into that last stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through all 6 stitches and chain 1. Okay, so you have that chain right here. So what you want to do is that top of the chain there, do a half double crochet stitch here. All right, so we have that half double crochet stitch. Okay, so now you chain 1 and turn your work. All right, I'm going to put my stitch marker. And where we did that half double crochet stitch, we are going to do a single crochet. So your first stitch is a single crochet. All right, next we are going to do a single crochet stitch in the eye of the store stitch, which is right here. Because if you turn it over, you'll see how the store stitch is right here, and this is the eye. So if you're ever not sure, just turn your work over. So that very first eye, we're going to do 1 single crochet. Just 1. Okay, from here on out, we are going to be putting 2 single crochet stitches in each eye of the stitch. So the next eye is right here. See, there's an eye. There's an eye. Okay, so 2 single crochet stitches. And then the second one. All right, then you find the next eye, which is right here. Do 2 single crochet stitches. 1. And 2. The next eye, do 2. 1. And 2. Okay, and you just keep doing 2 single crochet stitches in each eye. See, 1 and 2. One and 2. And just keep going across until you get to towards the end of the row, and we'll meet back up there and I will tell you what you need to do. Okay, I have 1 more eye left to work into. So let's do the 2 single crochet stitches into it. Okay, so now what we want to do, that last stitch is the half double crochet stitch. So we're not going to actually work into that. We're going to work on that top of that chain right here. So we're going to single crochet into the top of the chain. You just kind of want to get in there the best you can. All right. So we have finished row 3. Okay, so now we're going to start row 4, which is a repeat of row 2. So we're going to chain 3, and you want it kind of on the loose side. And we're going to turn our work. Grab your stitch marker. Okay. So we're going to go into that second chain from the hook. And pull up a loop. Then we'll go into the next chain and pull up a loop. Okay, so you now have 3 loops on your hook. We go through that first single crochet stitch and we pull up a loop. Then the second single crochet stitch, pull up a loop. Then the third single crochet stitch and pull up a loop. So you now have 6 loops, yarn over, pull through all 6 loops and chain 1. Now we're going to start the repeat of the store stitch. We go in through the eye, pull up a loop, go through that last leg, pull up a loop, go through the stitch that is connected to the last leg, pull up a loop, go through the next single crochet stitch, pull up a loop, go through the next single crochet stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through all 6 stitches and chain 1. Let's do that one more time. Go through the eye, pull up a loop, go through that last leg, pull up a loop, go through the stitch connected to the last leg, pull up a loop, go through that single crochet stitch, the next one, pull up a loop, go through the next single crochet stitch, pull up a loop. You got 6 loops, yarn over, pull through all 6 loops and chain 1. So just keep doing the store stitch all the way across, and we'll meet back up right before you get to the end of the row. We'll work that last store stitch together. Okay, let's do that last store stitch. So go in the eye of the store and pull up a stitch. Go into that last leg, pull up a stitch. Go into that stitch connected to that last leg, pull up a stitch. Go into the next single crochet stitch, pull up a stitch. Go into that last, let me find the stitch. Okay, the last single crochet stitch and pull up a stitch, 6 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 6 and chain 1. Okay, so now we're going to do a half double crochet stitch in the top of that chain. And we just finished row 4. So now we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Put your stitch marker in. Okay, and we're going to do a single crochet in that first stitch. Okay, and now you look for your first store stitch, which is right there. And like I said, if you're ever not sure, just look at the front of your work And you will be able to tell where that center of the eye is. All right. So that one gets 1. Then you find your next eye. And we're going to do 2 single crochets there. And this is the same exact thing you did on row 3. All right. Next eye, 2 single crochet stitches. Okay, and you just keep doing 2 single crochet stitches in each eye, and we'll meet back up right before you get to the end of the row. Okay, so we're approaching that last eye of the store, and we're going to do 2 single crochets. 1 and 2. Okay, let's take the stitch marker out, and we're going to go into that chain and do a single crochet stitch. All right, and we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and turn your work. Okay, and let's grab that stitch marker. Okay, and we are going to go into that second chain from the hook and pull up a loop. We're just repeating what we did on row 2. All right, next chain, pull up a loop. All right, the first single crochet stitch, go through and pull up a loop. Go through the next single crochet stitch and pull up a loop. Go through the next single crochet stitch and pull up a loop. So you have 6 loops, yarn over, go through all 6. Okay, then you go, oh, I forgot to chain 1. Don't forget the chain 1. All right, now go through the eye of the store and pull up a loop. Go through that last leg and pull up a loop. Go through the stitch that last leg is attached to and pull up a loop. Go through the next single crochet stitch, pull up a loop. Go through the next single crochet stitch, pull up a loop. You got 6 loops, yarn over, pull through all 6, and chain 1. And just keep doing that until we get right before the end of the row. And we'll meet back up there for the last store stitch and to finish the row. Okay, we are coming upon the last store stitch. So let's go in through the eye of the store, pull up a loop, go through that last leg, pull up a loop, go through that stitch attached to the last leg, pull up a loop, go into the next single crochet stitch, pull up a loop, and go through that last single crochet stitch and pull up a loop. Yarn over, go through all 6 loops, and chain 1. Okay. Now we're going to do a half double crochet stitch into that chain. Oops, I forgot to yarn over. Okay, we're doing a half double here. Okay, and now we chain 1, turn our work, and we're going to repeat row 3. Okay. In that first stitch, the half double crochet stitch, we're going to do a single crochet. All right, the first store stitch right here, we're going to do one single crochet stitch, just one in that first store. Then we move on to the next eye of the store and work 2 single crochet stitches. Okay, and then you just keep working 2 single crochet stitches in every eye of the store, and we'll meet back up right before that last eye of the store. Okay, so let's go into that last eye of the store and do 2 single crochet stitches. Okay, and let's take this stitch marker out. And on that top chain, we're going to do a single crochet stitch. Okay, and we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Okay, let's put our stitch marker back. On this row, we are just going to single crochet across. Just 1 single crochet stitch in every single crochet stitch. Just like this. And just keep single crocheting until you get to the end of this row. Okay, we have finished row 8. So now we're going to chain 1 and turn. And row 9, the row that we're starting, is going to be our final row. All right. So for this row, we're just going to slip stitch into every stitch. And just keep slip stitching all the way across this row. And you might want to make your slip stitches on the tight side, because I find it kind of holds the headband better on your head when it's tight. But like I said, just keep slip stitching all the way to the end of the row, and we'll meet back there. Okay, we are now finished with row 9. So you do not want to turn your work. You want to be facing your back side. See, if you see the store stitches, see, that's your front side. So you want to be on your back side. Best way to tell is the tail's facing towards you. Okay? And you want to take it and fold it together about like this. And we're going to connect the edges. All right, let's take our stitch markers out too. That would help. And remember, it's inside out right now. Okay. And you're just going to go in and slip stitch. You're going through, see this port? and this port. You see how I'm doing? And we're slip stitching. Okay, here it goes. And we just keep slip stitching all the way across. And my hook fell out. Okay, and just keep slip stitching and we'll meet back up once you hit the end, okay? Okay, I just got to the end and I slip stitched right there at the end. So I am going to cut my yarn and leave a long enough tail to sew in your ends. And I'm just gonna weave it in. Fasten it off, sorry. All right, next you wanna take your end pieces and weave in those ends. So I'm gonna take the first one. All right, and just kind of go through your stitches like so. Then I'm going to go back in the opposite direction. But don't go back through that very first stitch because you're just going to undo your work. Okay, and then I'll go back the other way a few times. Okay, and I'm going to cut that yarn. And let's weave in this other end. I'm going to do it on the other side here. Well, actually, no, I do need to do it on this side. Never mind. It's going back to where we were. And just go through some stitches. And it doesn't have to be perfect because no one's going to see the inside of your ear warmer. I'm moving back in the other direction. And now back the other way. And let's cut that yarn. And we are finished. Just turn it back the other way. And ta-da! Well, let's do it like this. You have an ear warmer. So let me know in the comments if you like this tutorial. And if you do make this ear warmer, please email me a picture of your ear warmer. My email address is justanotherstitch2020@gmail.com. You can find it in the description box of this tutorial. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the tutorial, and I hope you're having a fabulous yarny day. Be the light. Always remember to be the best sparkly you that you can be, and be cool and be kind. Bye.